this is the one I'm gonna be reading from today. This is called This Was Meant to Find You When You Needed It Most. And I feel like I might cry in this video. I'm gonna really try not to because I feel like that's not relaxing. But sometimes find yourself believing in everyone but yourself. This was meant to find you when you were feeling confused or lost entirely. This was meant to find you in your deepest moments of vulnerability. This was meant to find you in your journey of finding yourself and your journey of healing. This was meant to find you in your moments of pure joy and genuine happiness. This was meant to find you if you are still looking for that. This was meant to find you when you needed it most. This poem is titled Chaser. You'll never regret going after what makes your heart happy, even if it ended in hurt. Instead, you should feel so beyond proud of yourself for being brave enough to chase what makes you feel alive. There are some people out there who are too afraid to chase their dreams and who admire that strength in you. You should always feel proud of yourself for knowing what you want and taking the steps to obtain it. So I hope you will never regret anything that becomes such an important part of your journey of finding happiness and discovering who you are as a person. This poem is titled Growing Through It. I hope you are learning to give yourself credit you deserve. I hope you are beginning to recognize just how strong you are for pulling yourself through each and every difficult time in your life. I hope you allow this realization to walk with you alongside any obstacles or roadblocks you might encounter along your journey. I hope you know just how capable you are and that no matter how challenging a situation may seem, you have the courage to keep moving, to keep growing, and to keep healing. I hope you can look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you, and really mean it. And above all, I hope you realize just how incredible you are, and just how much you deserve your own love. No one can get you where you want to be but you. This poem is titled Extraordinary. This is just the beginning. You have so much more to do and to discover. Even if it feels like you should be further along by now, be patient with yourself. Good things take time, and there is no need to rush this beautiful journey that you are on. Take each day as it comes and make the most of it. Rest easy knowing that things are falling into place and everything is coming together, just like how you hoped they would in your mind. Don't waste any of your precious breaths comparing your progress to anyone else. Inspiration goes so much further than comparison, and you're far too special and unique to measure your success by external factors. This next poem is titled Slow Dance. It's okay if you're moving slow or taking a break entirely. It's okay to pace yourself and take your time. Sometimes the only person putting pressure on a situation is you. It's okay to go a little easier on yourself. It's okay to be human. That one hits. Oh my god. Okay, this next one is a little bit long, and it is titled, Sometimes There Is No Reason. It's comforting to believe that everything happens for a reason, and sometimes this does prove to be true. But sometimes heartbreaking things can happen, and it seems there is no possible way the situation, or no possible way to explain the situation or reason with it. Not right now, anyway. Situations arise sometimes that simply just do not make sense, and you find yourself asking, how could something like this happen to someone like me? Or why do bad things happen to good people? Or why wasn't I enough? While you may search for a meaning or a reason behind this pain, it is important to remember that sometimes there is no reason. Sometimes things don't happen for a reason at all. Maybe you did something to deserve, maybe you did nothing to deserve this. Maybe you won't find a reason this time. Maybe you were always enough. Sometimes life can be cruel, even to the kindest hearts and the softest souls on this planet. But oh my, life is also so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Please remember that there is always sunshine after the rain, light after the dark. If you can't find a reason for your pain right now, at least have trust that better capable of. This one is about burnout. This next one, I think we all need to hear, just judging by the title, and it is called You Are Enough. You are enough even when you don't feel like it. Even on your darkest days, you know, the ones when you don't even feel like getting out of bed. You're enough on those days too. You are enough even when your heart has been hurt by someone you love and care about. You know those days when you stand in front of the mirror and don't feel like yourself. You are enough on those days too. When you're exhausted, run off your feet, didn't even finish everything you needed to that day. You are enough then too. You are enough. You always are, and you always have been. Be kind to yourself today and always. This next one is titled You Come First. It's great to look after others, but don't forget to look after yourself too. It's lovely that you help people achieve their goals, but don't forget that your hopes and dreams are worthy of coming true too. You're always allowed to say no if something doesn't serve you. You're allowed to say no if something doesn't feel right. Don't betray yourself for the sake of someone else's happiness. Learn to recognize when this is happening, because that's likely when you need to say no or put some boundaries in place to protect yourself. It's not selfish to make yourself the most important person in your life. It's important to be there for others, but don't forget to be there for yourself too. This one is called Lighten the Load. I hope you know that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your own. I hope you know that there are people out there who are happy to share the load. I hope you know that your past does not define you and that it's okay to let go of it little by little, day by day, until the weight of what you are carrying doesn't make you feel like you're stuck, unable to move in the direction you're longing to move in, unable to move at all. I hope you allow yourself to heal, because you deserve to walk through this life with a purpose. I hope you know that it's okay to release your grip and begin to set yourself free. This next one is titled Move Mountains. You were not put on this earth to stay in the same place forever. You were put on this earth to move mountains and make magic. I know you know this already. You're just having trouble finding the motivation to finally change, to grow, and take action. Whenever you are feeling lost or held back by your self-limiting beliefs, try to remember what it is you're after. Remember what it is that makes your soul sing and feel like you have a purpose. I know it's hard to find the motivation you need when you're unsure what you are working towards, which is why first you need to find clarity on what you're working paragraphs that are like extremely long. That's why I'm flipping through a little bit. This next one is called One Small Thought. Everything begins from one small thought. Stop doubting yourself and believing in things that are holding you back. Your thoughts hold so much power, both the negative and the positive. Become more aware of your limiting beliefs. Have they served you in the past? Challenge yourself to put more focus on the positive ones and watch how the way you think about yourself changes. Remember that all the best ideas in the world were born from one tiny thought. This one is called Existing as You Are. Embrace everything that you are right now and accept all the things that you are not. You are under no obligation to be anybody other than who you are. You are under no obligation to reinvent yourself for anybody. You are under no obligation to be someone else's idea of perfection. You see, something that you should never forget is that the best version of you is the one that isn't trying to be something or someone else. The best version of you makes you feel whole, complete, and content just by existing. The best version of you is you. This one is titled Passion. Promise yourself that you'll never stop trying when it gets hard. Promise yourself that you will not give up on all the things that you are passionate about. An abundance of greatness will present itself when your passion is embraced, and happiness will radiate from within when you're living a life that is fulfilling your soul. This one is titled Healing. This is a reminder for anybody who is hurting right now. One day it won't hurt so much, I promise. But today it does. So cry. Cry until you can't cry anymore. Cry until you feel better. They may not be worth your tears, but you are. Your feelings are worth validating, and your hurt is worth recognizing. Be there for yourself and let yourself feel, because letting yourself feel is how you heal. This one is titled Maybe It's Okay. Maybe it's okay that you haven't worked out every little detail just yet. Maybe it's okay that you're feeling a little lost lately. Maybe you don't need all the answers right now. And maybe everything you need now is right here. Maybe the only thing you're missing is trust, believing that everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Once you let go of your fears and put trust into yourself and into the universe, that's when it all comes together. Maybe this is your sign This next one is titled Choosing Happiness. Happiness isn't something you simply wake up with one day. Happiness is something you have to choose, something you have to strive for and work towards. You can wish for happiness, but if you rarely make choices that align with your idea of happiness, you will never truly feel it. Accept that there will be some testing moments, and try a little harder to honor yourself and make decisions that better your life and your mental state. Show up for yourself first so you can show up for others. Remember that you have to choose happiness. It doesn't always choose you. So stay true to your idea of happiness and make a point of doing things, no matter how small they may seem, each day to help you achieve it. This next one is titled Evolve. I don't know who needs to hear these words right now, but if you're not happy with something going on in your life, you're allowed to change it. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to move forward. You are allowed to put yourself first. Don't hold back. Don't hold yourself back when you know that you are destined for so much more. This one is titled Wrong Turns. Don't strive for perfection. Instead, strive for gaining experience, for learning new things and stepping outside your comfort zone. Each wrong turn has brought you closer to where you are now. Every mistake has given you the knowledge you have now. Challenge yourself. Give life a go. Leave this unrealistic idea of perfection behind and accept that some chapters in your life are there to get you to the next one. Some people in your life are there to bring you to others. Transitioning to the next chapter is worth making a few mistakes for. The next chapter will take you closer to where you need to be. This is going to be the last poem, and it is titled Night Racer. Dear Night Racer, put your mind to rest, sweet one. I know the weight of the world feels heavy right now, and even though the day has ended, you cannot seem to turn off your mind. Remember that morning will come, and so too will peace. Remember that when you wake, the worries of this moment will not feel so heavy, and you will have a chance to begin again. Give less attention to what's been and gone, and more attention of what's ahead. Slow down your mind, slow down your breaths, and remember that morning will come, whether you keep worrying about it or not. I felt like that was probably a good one to end on. I really enjoyed this video. I thought a lot of these poems, well, a lot of them did really resonate with me. And just especially the fact of being so hard on yourself and expecting so much from yourself. You know, it is okay to go with the flow. It's okay to let your idea of how things should be, let that go and live in the moment and be who you are and accept the beauty of life. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these poems as well. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, I'll leave it in the description box. I do have an Instagram as well. Give this video a like if you want more poetry readings. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope you feel a little bit lighter after listening to this. I found that poetry book specifically is very inspiring. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you